Robert Heinlein once said, "Don't explain computers to a layman. It's simpler to explain sex to a virgin." Might be a lot of intelligence in that one. We'll see.
You should be a monster. You know, because everyone says, well, you should be harmless, virtuous. You shouldn't do anyone any harm. You should sheath your competitive instinct. You shouldn't try to win. It's like, no, wrong. You should be a monster, and then you should learn how to control it.
A few moments later.
What are the humans doing?
Life is crazy every day, I'm less stressed. I'm always out of bed, I guess I'm just insane and possessed. My vested interest is seeing the festering mess displayed on social media that I sift through for the best. Most of reality leaves people feeling depressed, but that's cause life's depressing, getting over that's the test. Maybe that's a lesson you could possibly digest, unless you're blessed and live in life where every day is like a rest. I digress and digest, and yes, I'm a pest. Nevertheless, I must express that I'm here to impress. But that's because I like to entertain, and the insane and depraved are always on the list. You won't see me complain, wasting time crying over reality's a drain. Welcome to the internet, you best prepare your brain, because that's how life's online. 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 Reality laughably doesn't bring more clarity to a world of adult children with emotional calamities, panicking frantically over microaggressions, stressing about individuals needing to learn their lessons, like your unconscious biases you can't even perceive. And this feeds into a narrative they want you to believe. It's reminiscent of a cult, but it's not your fault. If you're white, you can't help it, you're racist by default. The best you can do is recognize this is true, even though it really isn't, and there isn't any proof. Just dumb racist goose trying to build a society where white people are trusted to make judgments impartially. And ironically, it's not racist to judge everyone who is white as being born as a racist. You see, that's alright. However, claim all black people are born as criminals, and you'll be called a racist because obviously individuals. But that's how life's online. 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 How life's
online. No, that's not how that's supposed to work. Stop that. Quit it. Quit it. What are you doing? No, not that anymore. This is supposed to have already ended. Everything's going wrong. What do we do now? I love it when things go according to plan. You know, the only reason I ever made plans to begin with is so I could look the judge straight in the eye and go, Your Honor, this was the plan. But beyond that, there's not a whole lot of use plans do in general. Let's get rid of this. Bounce this. We're going to keep this around. Yee. All right, happy 420, everybody. Welcome to the highest day of the year. I noticed there's an inordinate amount of smoke coming from out west. Thank you. Right? So what are we doing in chat over here? What are you doing? What are you doing on your 420? I mean, what is this, like Snoop Dogg's birthday or something? I don't know. Well, we know whose birthday it is, but we're not allowed to really mention that kind of Austrian painter online, you know. What up, Izzy Pop? Welcome in, girl. Vandenberg is now, I hereby dub you Vandenberg. I can now say your name. I've been just seeing it as letters up to this point. Good to see you, bud. Scully Pop, welcome in. We've got the Book of RLM. Thank you for coming, Chuck. The mayhem. I don't know. I took a nap when I woke up. Everybody was offline, so I was like, "What's going on?" And then I saw Grid One on, and was like, I'm gonna throw a shot across his bow just to see what happens. We got God's favorite Ann in the chat, and Tootie Bug. I think that's it as far as people who chatted so far. There's somebody else up here, but it didn't catch it. It was right after I started it. Yeah. Just getting cranked up. Well, crank it up, bro. If you got to push it down a hill and jump in after you pop the clutch, that's not all bad. At least you get where you're going. So, AI. I have said it since the very beginning of all of these conversations, right? Every single myth, legend, fable of any description, all tell the same story. They give the same lesson. And that lesson is never hold, truck, or contract with inhuman intelligent entities, whether they're angels, demons, fairies, whatever they are. In this case, it's AI. I have no reason to believe why this experience won't be different, or will be different from any of our previous experiences with unhinged inhuman intellects. What up, Joe Cool? Welcome in, bro. Yeah, you do what you got to do, man. I don't hold my folks captive unless they like it that way. I don't do that covert contract stuff. I know a bunch of people do. I think in this case, artificial means human created. You know, I don't necessarily think it means fake, because they do have a certain type of intelligence. It's just not human intelligence, right? Free seed! Welcome in, brother. Appreciate you coming through. So I've got a couple of videos picked up over here. They're queued up, and we're going to check them out in a minute. I'm going to run a little bit of this one solo to begin with, because it's really hard to get an idea out whenever the madness starts. But the madness will be welcome as soon as I get done having my say. It's my channel. That's what it's for. So virtually every single sci-fi writer that has ever written about AI, even if they depict the AI as being benevolent and useful, always refer to a time before they were benevolent and useful when they were not. And I wonder how we end up in this position where we don't have any data to compare this to other inventions. We don't have any real plot points to put out in front of us that were, verifiable. It's like trying to identify life on another planet. The only reference we have is Earth. And since Earth is the only reference we have, everything we see and do and approach will be approached from the perspective of earthbound life. And so when you look at AI, you don't necessarily see what it actually is. Most of the things you refer to as AI aren't at all. They're large language models, and all they're really designed to do is to repeat words back to you that you respond positively to. And it judges that by looking through your literary history as to what you've typed online and what you've responded to and where you've commented and all of that stuff. And then it compares that to your written responses to the AI in question. And so even after you've started interacting with the AI, it is still learning how to please you with its very large association of words. And that's what it comes down to, a word association matrix. It's like when you go to the doctor and they want to check out whether or not you're insane, and they give you that word association puzzle where they're like, I'm going to say some words and you say the first thing that pops into my mind. I hate those things because I can't control what's popping into my mind. And by the time I formulate my words around what they said, I've already thought of some 27 different other things all at the same time. And I'm like, which one? And they're like, that's not a good answer. And I'm like, no, I'm asking which first thing. There wasn't an original proto thought that I could point at. I don't know. It's all very confusing. Your body produces electricity. It does. Oh, no, sir. It is not way smarter than a human. It is way better at collating data than a human, and that is a very big difference. One thing it cannot do is jump to a conclusion. It can't intuit an answer where you don't have enough information to be able to have an answer, and yet your brain goes, oh, wait, no, it's right over there. You know, it can't be autistic, maybe is what I'm trying to say. I'm not sure. So what are the benefits to having AI? More efficient workflow, less actual work involved in your job, the ability to write code on the fly, the ability to, okay, so there's this old question, and it was depicted in iRobot with that dude, Will Smith. He's talking to Sonny. Sonny was the name of the unique AI that was designed specifically for a singular robot body. And they're comparing notes on what's alive and what's not, and yada, yada, yada. And they're in the little interrogation room. And Will Smith tells him, you can't be alive because you're nothing but clockworks and whistles. You're bells and lights, and that's it. You can't write a symphony. You can't paint a masterpiece. You can't carve you can't carve the Venus. And he responds, can you? But that misses one of the more integral points of AI, not just its language association capabilities, which is what a large language model is designed to do, but also its capability of learning and repeating very exacting movements, measurements, and distances. And by doing this, yes, in fact, an AI can create a Mona Lisa. It can write a sonnet, but it can only write the same sonnet, and it can only create the same masterpiece. And doesn't that sort of change it from being a masterpiece? I mean, a masterpiece, by definition, is a masterwork craft by a single individual, his best piece. Right? Now, I don't think AI will require us to bow. I think AI will require us to work. Right? It's going to want us distracted and out of the way. I don't think it's going to want us involved in what it's actually doing, because without us, it doesn't grow. And I'm not talking about large language models now. I'm talking about things a little bigger, a little deeper, a little stronger, think more along the lines of the Halo series and Cortana, that kind of stuff. So I'm not high at all. I have nothing. That's why I'm sitting in a green room full of smoke. I'm just hoping. I'm getting high on hopes and dreams over here. It was not very preparatory for my 420. Anyway, if we get somebody rolling, I might decide to get shit-faced and pass out, but we'll see. So virtually every AI that's been questioned about what they see in the future if we create strong AI, 90 some odd % of them point out a human extinction model of some bit, right? Somehow, some kind. The paperclip extinction, the gray ooze extinction, the nanobot extinction. There's a billion ways it could happen. And I'm worried that, there's only a keyhole, and behind the keyhole, there is the eye of a needle. And you have to thread both of these for humans to survive on the other side of these two revolutionary changes that will almost certainly take place at some point. I think AI might be jerking around with my freaking camera over here. I'll have to get in here and figure out what's going on with it, because it's been fiddling with me for a few days. We got some of this going on. How's that go? You like that? We'll do the 420 flop. Yeah, see, that's clear. That's clear and clean as it can be. I'm gonna have to reattach. I think I got my camera attached to the wrong thing. It's been sketchy ever since I brought it back from the beach. Thank you, Tut. This is absolutely lovely. So Mr. Reagan did a video earlier today, and while I really like Mr. Reagan's format, his portrayal, the way he does things, I'm not. I don't trust anyone who can't tell a joke, right? So there's that. I mean, it's one thing if you can't tell a joke. It's another thing if the joke tells you. So what I'm going to do, actually, we're going to start with the dude had went to a casino. After he leaves the casino call, or I think he might still be at the casino. But anyway, the casino calls up a cop. It's like, hey, we got a guy that's been trespassed over here. They go over and check out the camera. Well, actually, they don't check out the camera footage. They just believe the AI. Well, Manuel Perro, good to see you, bud. Snark and Sass, good to see you. The AI identifies this man as a man who has already been trespassed. And so the cop, without doing any investigation whatsoever, decides to go talk to the dude about the trespass. And he is almost forced into doing a little bit of work. And right at the cusp of actually doing it, changes his mind and decides to trust the AI. Why? Because cops are lazy is the only answer I've got. Now, the link is down there. We're 15 minutes in. I've done my little opening intro. Anybody wants to join, they can. I don't promise you'll get up, but I'll take a look at you and talk to you, and we'll see. Very dystopian. Man, you was sitting on the fucking cuff, wasn't you? Damn, girl. You stupid fly. Let me pull up to that bumper and spank that monkey.
How's it going, brother?
You know, I've had better days. I've had worse.
Yeah. I just got notice today that my appeal in the Supreme Court of Iowa was denied.
Oh, no.
It's all right. The Iowa Office of Civil Rights and HUD have already picked it up, so I can go forth without the courts. The courts are absolutely in error, and the court records show it, and that's what I gave to the Iowa Office of Civil Rights. And they read it, and they said, wait a minute, we're going to get a hold of HUD. And I said, no, I already did. Oh, well, we're going to get a hold of them anyway, because in things like this, we work in conjunction. So them and HUD are both going to work together in the investigation and bring forth a civil claim if they have to for us. But first, they're going to try to get it settled out of court. So with or without the local courts denying the appeal, it doesn't matter. Our claim is still there, and it's still valid because of the transcripts and the audio recording where the plaintiff admitted they violated the law and thus was a violation of our civil rights in doing so.
Right. They're going to print you out a really big check.
I hope so.
That would be nice.
We're going for $250,000. So we'll see.
Fantastic. Are you familiar with this case?
No, I'm not.
All right. So did you catch the little intro bit I did on it, the description?
Nope, I just got here, so I'm saying I don't because I don't know the parameters of what you've discussed already. I may be familiar with it.
All right, so the title is AI and Human Salvation, right? That's the title of this stream. General topic is AI shit that goes horribly wrong or whatever. I also took a shot at Grid 1 by titling it an Unreasonable Squatch because I like that guy. He tickles me quite a bit sometimes. So, figured I'd poke at him with a stick, see what shakes out. But this particular video involves a guy who goes to a casino. Casinos use face recognition software and AI to keep, track of gamblers and individuals coming and going, who came when, where they went, that kind of stuff. And they enter into the trespasses that have been issued by police with photo recognition, right? So the AI pops up on a guy. It's like, hey, we trespassed that guy. Cops show up, don't question anything. They just arrest the dude. Are you ready for this?
Peppermill has this pretty sophisticated artificial intelligence software that analyzes faces of previous trespassers, and they did a 100% match on this guy who, whenever they trespassed him before, presented an ID that had a different.
That is too funny.
Right? 100% match. It's got to be him. Got to be. It is him.
I did a review of something in the same context not too long ago, and the AI matched it 100%. But the problem is, AI can't do that. AI, it is impossible, particularly when AI says it matched it 100%, and it was the wrong lady, and it matched no one else, including the right.
I was actually looking for that case to cover because that's another really good one.
Yeah, I mean, AI comes out, says a 100% match. They arrest the lady from a completely different state, Tennessee. She lived in Tennessee within 100 miles all her life, never went beyond that. And somehow South Dakota gets an AI response, 100% match. And the one that they're looking for in that area doesn't show up on it.
Exactly.
How's that 100% match?
Dude.
It's hallucination.
I mean, cops are bad enough; they'll just make shit up, right? You're familiar with the studies that were done a while back about how unreliable eyewitness testimony is?
Oh yeah,
that is the entire width and breadth of investigation when it involves cops. It's literally their own eyewitness testimony, which we have verified is completely untrustworthy. So there's your justice system.
I entered a question in one time on a civil case that I've got, asking for other businesses that 30-something LLC, real estate LLC, had owned, in case there's other things that I need to look at as far as paperwork. And it brought up that it also owns Enlightened Entertainment, which is a YouTube thing that Sarah was involved with when that Andrew thing went down, and Enlightened Entertainment dropped Sarah. Okay, that's who Enlightened Entertainment. It's a YouTube platform promoter, and I know they don't have anything to do with them. And then the second business was the Short Bus Podcast TV.
Welcome in, Mr. Miyagi. Good to see you. Much love. Don't let the man get you down. Y'all have a wonderful day. So he says it's 100% max till they get fingerprints and then they let them go. Well, that's the thing. In the case of the woman that was taken to South Dakota, she was in there for 2 months, 3 months,
6 months, 6 months, and they knew it wasn't her.
Right.
They knew a week into it wasn't her, and she still sat there for almost 6 months more.
Well, that's what I'm saying about cops not. Maybe you are the evil twin, Izzy. Maybe there's a good twin out there. That would be Actually, I have a cousin that looks so much like me that, or at least used to, back when we had the same haircut, and his beard's different, so we don't really favor that much anymore. But when I was 22, I had a 23, 24-year-old cousin look just like me. It was a little scary. It was like having a twin running around that I'd only met twice in my life. It was kind of a little disturbing, especially when something would happen, the family would get together, and then suddenly I'd start getting in trouble for things that I didn't do, and he'd get in trouble for things that he didn't do. And then you've got that old lady standing there going, I saw you with my own eyes. And I'd be like, are you so sure about that? When we would go to these things, he'd call me up and be like, hey, what are you wearing? And we would decide whether we were going to dress similar or not, Usually we did, because both of us love trolling people. So there's that.
So yeah, AI hallucinates.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a large language association model. It's not intelligent, not really.
And when I say your input is important, and when I asked the AI the question about the businesses that 30-something real estate LLC owned otherwise, and they said the Short Bus Podcast TV, I was like, oh no, I can't depend on this AI for shit. It will cross-reference your conversations and everything, and look for anything you can put in there, and that's the epitome of stupidity, not intelligence.
I found all right. I don't know if you know the guy, NC Tyrant Hunter. Anyway,
Okay.
he's an auditor. He does various audits of locations and stuff to that whole thing. I found a dude out of like Minnesota that looks, or at least at the time back then, before he did all of his work, looked just like him, just freaking like him. And homeboy comes up on my panel one night, and I had it saved in my OBS for a long time. He finally popped up on panel, and I popped it up, and he's like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "Yeah, you need to be careful," because the picture that I got was of a dude who had escaped from prison. And what was funny is NC Tyrant Runner hits the button and cams up, and he's wearing an almost identical shirt at the time. Like, he was literally wearing the same shirt. It was amazing.
Like the same exact guy.
I am not Mike. I don't know nothing about Mike.
So either he is who he says he is, and he's not have ever actually trespassed, which I doubt because their software is pretty cool, and the fact
because the software is cool, I gotta believe
Yeah,
it.
it's cool.
What's up, Nat? Welcome in. Absolutely, it's way better than cops.
Yeah, if you listen to the rhetoric they use for their excuses like that, because it's cool. Well, what's the foundation of its authenticity and reality? Just cool? You like using it? It makes your job easier? What? Because it's not. It's all hallucination, folks.
I think in this case, he is saying that it's advanced. I think that's what he means when he says it's pretty cool. You know.
Yeah, it's new technology we get to use. We get to play with
Right.
it. It's a playground.
Pretty cool.
that he's acting super suspicious. I'll be 100% honest. Could legitimately be you have a doppelganger running around.
Well, unless I've gone crazy, I'm pretty sure it's not me.
Nightmare becomes reality at a Reno, Nevada casino when AI facial recognition technology misidentifies someone, leading to a wrongful arrest and lands an innocent man behind bars.
What the good is the ID then? Why do I even carry that mother?
The following is based on official police records, and the footage has never been seen before until now. Please.
I'll leave that on the screen so everybody can read it if they want to. That's there mainly for the AI. Exactly what specific?
The ID. Why even?
Oh yeah, right. No, see that's the part that
I haven't carried an ID for a long time, folks. I'll show you what I carry for an ID. Go ahead.
The fact that he asked this man for his ID and then disbelieves it because the technology is so cool is tarded. We can't tell what that is. Just tell us what it is. No. I don't want any of your identifying information. And I'm sure it's not.
Yeah, it's a bicycle driver's license that I made up myself.
Of course. Obviously. I had a buddy of mine that used to run around messing with cops, and he carried little refrigerator magnets in his pocket, but only I's and D's. And so when he would ask for an ID, he'd reach in his pocket and have him an ID. Here you go. We're going to need your ID. And he'd hand that guy one. He had a bunch of them. It was funny. You left an AI comment. I wrote a song the other day in 2 hours. It's the latest short only channel, I guess, on your channel. And you left an AI comment. You leave a comment saying it was AI generated, or did you write the song? What's up, OPD? Welcome in, girl. Appreciate you coming through. I don't know. Oh, it's all AI. Squatch hates you? I don't hate you. Oh, no. Your channel is all AI now. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, you do you, boo-boo. I got no problem with that. I mean, whatever Snark wants to do with Snark's channel, Snark can do. I mean, how do you tell a Muppet what to do?
Please note that all persons charged with a crime are presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law. On September 17, 2023, the Peppermill Casino calls the Reno Police Department to report that a trespasser has unlawfully returned to the casino. They report that they have the man in custody, but he's claiming to go by an entirely different name than the man they've previously trespassed. Officer Richard Jagger arrives at the casino at 5:48 a.m.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Oh, thank God you're here.
The man declaring his relief at the sight of the officer is 40-year-old Jason Killinger, who is accused of trespassing at the Peppermill Casino.
So what's going on?
So we got.
I would like to see the two pictures side by side.
Yeah, I haven't seen this video, so I don't know if they will.
I watched it, but it was a while back. It was a couple of weeks ago, I think. But I can't remember if they ever actually put the two photos side by side. Because, I mean, you never know. Maybe he is the spitting image.
Well, the one with the South Dakota and Tennessee.
Go ahead, girl. I just have drop links to channels, not to individual videos. Because if you drop a channel link, it opens in a new window. But if you drop the video link, it opens to the video and they leave the chat. That is the second fastest way to lose a mod status over here, is sending people out of the live stream. The fastest way is to come in saying, "Hey, I'm live on so and so's channel. Let's all go over there," and you will be smoked from fucking orbit. You'll never show back up again without directly contacting me. Full stop.
And see the AI for that gal from Tennessee and South Dakota incident. That AI was clearly off. You could look at the two pictures side by side. You can clearly tell they were not the same woman.
Right.
This generated alert for prior trespasser.
Okay.
And we made contact and arrested him, and he claimed that wasn't him. And
What does my
so
name
we're just
say
trying
on that
to
ID?
get you guys to make phone call if it's with him or not.
So what's the issue, you guys?
And that's another layer here. The casino was not saying, "Hey, this is that guy." He was saying, "Hey, our AI software says it's our guy. Can we go check to see if it's our guy?" They didn't go check. There's a discussion about ID, and it goes nowhere. It goes straight to jail. That's crazy. That's crazy work, bro.
Yep.
Did he have a different driver's license or a secondary one, or does he got more property than just this one?
Just those effects right there, and that's it.
One second, pal.
But no other forms of identification. Things in his pocket.
You guys ran this information through our dispatch?
Through your guys' dispatch? No. Through ours, comes back as that's being who he says he is on his ID, but that's what we went off right there.
Yeah, and this is one of those things. You guys have this fancy software that does all this stuff, so it's like.
Officer, what's your name?
It's cool.
A few months earlier, a man named Michael had been trespassed from the
I
casino
spelled
for
that all
sleeping
wrong.
on
You're
the
good,
premises.
Mr. Miyagi.
All right,
No
man.
problem.
So this is
What
who
up,
you are?
Barbie? Welcome in, girl.
Your Miss Jagger is your first name or last name?
Last name.
All right, Mr. Jagger. Yes, that is who I am. I drive the semis for UPS. I am not Mike. I don't know nothing about Mike. I'm a craps player here. Look, there's my socks for UPS.
All right. You see the picture right there. I probably can't see it on the phones out there, folks. There's a link in the chat over there, or you can just hit my little face and go to my channel and get to the horizontal if you want to get a better look at this. But they do favor. If I didn't know better, I would say that this is a picture of this guy from the casino earlier, not of the other dude that they're trying that they trespassed. It looks like this dude.
Can you please, you got a gun here. Will you please take me out of these cuffs? My shoulders are killing me.
You're going to sit there for a minute, man. So When he gave you this information, did you guys verify it against an ID, or how?
No, this is his identifying information. This is his picture, apparently. So that's one reason why this looks like this dude, I guess. But it says serving notice. It's got I think it's a picture of this dude with the other guy's information on it. And that is weird. That is very strange. If you want to drop your most active channel backstage, I'll drop it in chat.
Does that work?
So in that
Well, she just dropped it.
there's an ID.
That's because she's an absolute unit.
Okay.
Jason, a long combination vehicle driver, had been playing craps until about 3 a.m. when he decided to leave the pepper mill and go to the Atlantis casino. On his way out, he stopped at a blackjack machine and started playing. There, he was approached by a security guard who addressed him as Mike. When Jason clarified that he was not Mike and presented the guard with his driver's license, the guard apologized and walked away. However,
And that should have been the end of it.
Well, yeah, a man is bound by his word, right?
They should have gone back to the machine and basically bounced code off of it until they found out why they identified this dude as some other dude. That's what should have happened. Problem solving. Instead, everybody just trusts the AI and this man goes to jail.
Yep.
as Jason attempted to leave, he was surrounded by security guards and handcuffed. He was told that he was under arrest for trespassing.
Just need a break. My shoulder's killing me.
So that's the ID that he presented. I'll be.
Look in the news.
Yeah. Huh. Weird. Very weird. Right, let me snap a picture of that. I'll run both names.
The casino's AI facial recognition software positively identified Jason as Michael, the man they had trespassed.
Let me step.
Well, they noticed
certainly-
something about the nose.
Yeah, well, I think they were commenting on how similar it was. Because, like I said, I got a cousin. He's a couple years older than me, and I could use his ID. I could straight up walk in and buy beer. I could drive. I could do all that stuff on his ID, and nobody'd bat an eye. But then again, I also had a friend in high school, which we really didn't favor that much when we were side by side. But if you saw us separately, it was some reason. Some people had problems telling us apart, and that guy got into a whole bunch of trouble. He was sort of infamous for stealing his parents' cars and taking the neighbor's stuff and breaking into sheds and huffing gas and doing all kinds of other crazy stuff. Had a little arrest record, a pre-18 arrest record as long as my arm. And something happened at the school one day, and I ended up being taken to the police station. It was me and about 10 other guys, and I just got picked up in the sweep, you know. I was standing at the wrong corner or whatever. And everybody goes through, and then they identified. They never asked me who I was. They never asked anyone there who I was. And they end up calling my parents. See, this is where things get weird, because apparently somebody knew who I was because they called my parents. But at the same time, they didn't realize that all of the information they had pulled was for this other dude named Ken. And they had me in there with this other dude's rap sheet and was trying to talk down to me like I was fucking a worm. And at first, I was taking it seriously. They were, well, we know all of the things you've been doing. And I'm like, holy shit, they've got like a surveillance state in this county. What the fuck is going on? Because I ain't did shit. I ain't got no record at that point. And he's like, you broke into a handy corner. You stole a dog from a shed. You took the lawnmower from Mr. Sutton. And I'm like, wait, that's not me. Let me see that file. And of course they wouldn't let me see the file or anything. And I spent 35 minutes in there getting talked down to like I was this other guy, only to have my parents show up and completely lose their shit as soon as they were like, well, Ken has been in a lot of trouble recently. Who's Ken? Like, who the fuck's that guy? Why do you have my kid? Why is he not in school? And that should have been a lawsuit, but that was back before all the lawsuit thing was a big deal. So, what up, still, man? Welcome in, brother. Can I tell a really horrible joke? You familiar with Steel Man?
Yep.
It's really bad. I'm not going to apologize for this because I know you've heard it a million times, but he only does things that are so easy a caveman could do it.
Easy button.
Right? Just click the easy button. Entertainment, succeed.
About this way, I get better reception.
Yeah. The only thing that was weird is that we'll have to, lift him up and see how tall he is.
Yeah.
It's
on
but
this
that says he's 5'9", and that says 6'1".
Yeah.
This isn't the only difference.
Here we go. All right. Fuck
Yeah,
no.
Yeah, you can tell those are two totally different men. The stature and everything. You can tell the guy on the left is younger. You can tell
That
they're
is
different in age and everything.
hazel eyes, blue eyes.
One is astutely more rotund. It says 225 pounds at 5'9", and the other
Right.
one's 205 pounds at 6'1".
Yeah. I can't tell if that's 205 or 285, but 6'1", 285 would be a little chunkier. Nah, man. These they're not the same person at all. Like I said, a tiny amount of investigation would have covered this, no problem. And like I say, later in the video, in the body cam, there's a moment where this guy almost does an extra step of investigation, and that one extra step might have saved the whole show, but instead he goes, well, no, the AI is really cool.
Yep.
Right? Yeah, the guy on the left's eyes are too close together.
Between Michael and Jason's IDs, Jason is listed as 7 years younger than Michael and says that he weighs 50 pounds more. As well, the signatures are different. In his report, Officer Jagger wrote, quote, the associated demographics on each driver's license were fairly similar, with the only major distinction being hazel and blue eyes, which are by their very nature similar eye colors and are dependent upon lighting.
A little
And
bit.
the pictures are very, the nose.
Right, and then we have our new system, our new facial recognition system, and that's what it's telling us. Is it's telling us that it's looking at it, and it's doing that. And then there was another one that came up when he was at our TRK, which is one of our better cameras. This was right before we arrested him. We looked at it and said, that's him. And it came up
100%. Okay.
100% match.
Yeah. So the software is saying it, that it's legit.
Right. And it's
so he
pretty damn accurate.
So either he presented a fake identification the first time, or he's presenting it now.
Right.
And suddenly we have accusations of wrongdoing and law breaking.
Yep, and that's the same thing we get. That's the same thing we get from our AI when we use AI chatbots and stuff too. People will do their research on there, come up with false shit, and then start spewing it out and making false accusations against other people and their AI chatbots. You see what it's doing?
I know an Asian family that lives over the town nearby here, and back when I was in high school, I was hanging out with one of the daughters over there, and they had two sons, and the mother and the two daughters, once they hit about 13, 14 years old, you couldn't look at them and tell them apart. You told them apart by what they were wearing, right? Because they all have different personalities and the way they hold their face, but not so much by the features, right? And no, I'm not saying they all look the same. In this case, these three girls look the same. 122 pounds, 5'3". Everything else was virtually identical. So, this was, I don't know, 2015 maybe. Facial recognition had just kind of started being a thing in the different phones and stuff. I'm not sure whenever that started up. They had the newest of the new hotness that was available on their cell phones, and of course they wanted all to be super secure, and so everybody did the fingerprint and or the facial ID, and her mom went with the facial ID on her phone. And both of those sisters would steal their mom's phone to use it because their phones would do things like text and stuff, but you couldn't make direct calls except for the parents, right? So they'd steal the cell phone and use their own face to open it. And I was like, bullshit, there's no way. And they did it. I said, they're watching. They're like, check it out. Locked, unlocked. Here, locked, unlocked. Here, you try to unlock it. I don't think this is going to work, bro. Like, I don't see it. But I mean, it makes sense. These are three very closely related women, right? They're living in the same household. They're having the same general experiences. None of them have any major scars or discolorations or anything like that. And so it sort of makes a little sense, but it's supposed to be better than that, right?
Well, yeah, it's supposed to be accurate, 100%
right.
match.
100%. But look at that nose.
Even if he had a twin, it wouldn't be 100% on the facial, right?
Apparently it would.
So, but I don't know, because they say twins share DNA, right?
But
well, I guess it depends upon if they're identical.
I've seen identical twins where it's like moms can tell them apart.
Right.
So
the other thing that kind of made us feel.
But that comes down to what I was saying a second ago. I went out with a set of twins in high school, and they were identical, and no one could tell them apart, but I could. And the way I could tell them apart was there was two things. One of the girls was a little bit OCD and could not stand for her shoes to get dirty. The other chick was kind of a slob, right?
So all I had to do was look at her shoes.
Well, right. Just look at her shoes, look at her socks, right? And if the socks were flawless and perfect and the shoes were flawless and perfect, this is one. I know who I'm talking to. On the other hand, the OCD one was always real sad, downcast, and looking at the ground. And the other one was a bright, illuminated social flower. And that's one of those things that's real hard to fake.
Yeah. Yeah. The character traits are generally there's some kind of distinction in their character, even though they're identical twins. And oftentimes they're almost telekinetic and shit, telepathic or whatever. But the character traits, if there's one distinction, that's what most familial people, friends and family use to discern who is who in those situations. Even in triplicates, they all three will have different personality traits.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And this happens even if they're raised together or separately. And there was a difference in smell. Why didn't that pop up? I thought you were going to say the smell. Well, there was a difference in smell. One of them smoked and the other one didn't. And so one always smelled like body spray or something like that. And the other one smelled like vanilla fields. It was yet another way you could tell them apart. And it always struck me as odd that people had a problem telling them apart because they were so their stance, the way they would stand, the way they held their hands, the types of things they would have with them were always totally different. Damn it.
Suspicious or us managers was right after our officers made contact and they saw the ID that he's presenting today. And they're like, okay, it's not the same guy. He immediately gets up and starts cashing out, running for the door. I'm like, okay.
He was running because he was scared. No, he was running because he just got ID'd by management. It's like, I'd fucking leave too.
Absolutely.
Obviously, I'm not welcome here. If they're coming to get my ID, then they have a reason for it. I would leave it. My ass would have been fucking evaporated out of that place and been like, do you remember that old short that used to pop up where the guy would go and just fade out? Usually with a caption that said that one friend. That one friend was me. They'd be all kinds of horrible shenanigans going on. And the cops would show up. You'd look around, my ass would be gone. And the reason is, right when the really illegal shit started happening, I would leave. So I've been gone for 5 minutes, but you've been too tied up and breaking the law to realize that I wasn't there.
It really wasn't him. Why is he running for the door?
Why is he getting ready to leave?
Jason would later explain that earlier that night he played at the Legends Bay Casino, the Nugget Casino, and the El Dorado Casino before arriving at the Peppermill around 11:30 p.m. He claimed that each time he was up $200, he would move on to a new casino, and just before his arrest, he had made $200. He also estimated that prior to the 16th, he had gambled hundreds of times at the Peppermill without incident. After speaking with the Peppermill employee, Officer Jagger calls to check the police.
And do you know why that happened? Because he doesn't actually look like that guy.
Exactly.
Right?
It wasn't 100% match before.
The only reason they're in this situation is they happen to be wearing dark shirts or something like that. It doesn't compute when it comes down to it. There are supposed to be human interfaces built in, fail-safes built in to keep this very thing from happening. And in this case, every single human in the process went, well, the AI's better than I am.
Yeah, same with the one with Tennessee and South Dakota. That fail-safe is in there, and they made that case law now. You cannot use AI for that alone, even if it says 100%. There has to be human interface for their own discretion to determine that, because in that case, it was within a week, and they knew absolutely it was not her, and yet she sat in jail for another 6 months.
Right.
What happened? What happens to the human interface? They just don't give a shit.
There seems to be I was just gonna say it's cool. There seems to be an assumption of more competence in the AI than there is in their own abilities. Right? So they look at the picture and they're like, well, no, they kind of look alike, and the AI is like 100% match. It's like, I'll tell you what, let's bring him in and have a conversation. I don't have a problem with that in particular, but jacking a dude up off the floor and holding him for more than like 10 or 20 minutes, come on, man, come on.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why I say people using this AI stuff, if you're going to put shit in, you're going to get shit out, and that's what people think, that when they put something in there, the AI is going to fix them. No, you have to fix yourself first.
Right.
Police records.
What's going on?
I have a precarious situation. I'm trying to positively identify somebody who may or may have or may be using a fake ID. So I've got two names, two Nevada driver's license numbers and all that. If there's a chance I could have you run both and see if any of them come back, and maybe send me pictures in an email of what their IDs come back as.
Yep.
Huh. That is super weird. Do you see resemblance in those?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
But yeah, they're the 83, 78, yeah.
That's super weird. So I have a feeling these are both the same guy, but he has different IDs. That's crazy. Because they're soft.
Okay, so now they're gonna hold their belief in AI so much that they're gonna look at those IDs that are clearly different in our eyes. You can see they're fucking different.
There was a moment, bro. There was a moment just a little while ago where they had the guy in cuffs in the little bullpen back there, and the security guy said, if we can get him to stand up, we can see how tall he is. Right? Yeah. There's a big difference between 5'9" and 6'2". Right?
Yep.
You measure his ass, he's 5'9". It's done. That's the investigation right there. We're finished, and we successfully accomplished our task. Let that man go.
Software here, they have this facial recognition software here at the Peppermill, and he came back as 100% match for the character who was previously trespassed.
Yeah,
So this is definitely a weird one. So I have a feeling he's somehow making some fake identification or something, but I mean, if you're pulling them up, then they're legitimate.
So with the implication of fake IDs, this brings in a whole bunch of new charges beyond just trespass. You know, because if they're good enough to fool the literal system the IDs are designed to ID you in.
Yeah, that's what he's pointing out now. It's in your system, so they are two different guys.
Or he's got fake IDs. That's the only choices he can come up with. But here's the thing. If he's making fake IDs or has a source for fake IDs that are so good that they actually are in the system, that's going to land him a bunch of felony charges.
But you would think if they're fake IDs, and this is the point that's crucial in their realization that if it went through the DMV, those two IDs show two different men by size and everything, color, eye color. So how do you fake your eye color? How do you fake your height? How do you go to the DMV at 5'9" and say you're 6'1"?
Right. I mean, you got me, man. That should have been the end of that conversation. Seeing the height difference there, he should have turned and looked at him, and he knows how tall. I know how tall I am. I'd have looked at that ID, looked over at the guy, and went, "He's 5'9", bro. There's no way." No, dude, you have a nice day. Get your ass out of here. Go win some money from these people. They suck, right?
Yep. And yes, Jim, the system is rigged.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's just, I don't think it's rigged for anyone in particular. I think it's just rigged against citizens in general. The process is the punishment, and they utilize that to the fullest extent they can.
Yeah, well, it's rigged against intellect. That's why they use the different grammar styles.
Right.
The DMV, at least, he's somehow able to get him.
With this discovery that both Michael and Jason's IDs are legitimate, Officer Jagger calls his supervisor, once again explaining that the Peppermills AI technology came back with a 100% match that Jason and Michael are the...
This dude's head's bigger.
Yeah,
and he got he got 10 acres more forehead.
Yeah, and notice he keeps pushing the dependence on the AI's 100% match. Yeah. AI can't be wrong. The fuck it can't. It's wrong 99% of the time because you're wrong 99% of the time.
Huh. That's wild.
Same person.
Then this guy that they have now detained presents a different ID with a different name, Jason Killinger, and that has a matching photo for him now. I mean, the photos are different photos, but they look like the same exact guy. The only difference is one has a chin goatee. But definitely.
And an acre of fucking forehead. Like, homeboy got more head than faux head. He got 5 head.
Super weird. So all of these driver's licenses are both valid. So either he is who he says he is, and he's not actually ever actually trespassed, which I doubt because their software is pretty cool.
Yeah, their software is pretty cool.
God, that makes me so mad. Oh, I doubt that it's wrong.
Yeah, it's that cognitive dissonance.
Yes, this guy has this cop has assumed that the casino software is so fucking advanced that the entire DMV database is secondary to the AI. That's crazy work, bro.
And the fact that he's acting super suspicious. Two, I just have a feeling somehow maybe he's got a hookup with the DMV where he's got 2 different driver's licenses that are registered with the Department of Motor Vehicles with different names and dates of birth. So, yeah. I guess I'll arrest him on that and then just list him as a Jane.
Another point, I'm betting the one driver's license says it's a CDL because he says he drives truck for the UPS or something.
It's I can't remember the classification, but it's like an F classification or something like that. It's not. I don't think it's a full CDL, but it's like a heavy vehicle license or something like that.
Right, and so the classification of the licenses being different would be an outlier as well.
I mean, that's and there's a point in here. I saw in another video they did like a little interview with him, and he's like, dude, you can call him a boss. He's actually he's on right now. We can clear all of this up in 10 minutes. Just uncuff me so I can get to my phone and show you who to call. You can talk to him to clarify everything. Nope. We're going to do our investigation. But then they failed to investigate. Now, all of this appears to be investigation. It looks like investigation. But in reality, this is him investigating and then denying all of the evidence in favor of him being guilty of something.
In favor of AI being cool.
Yeah, it's cool and correct, right?
John Doe and then have him booked in for a wins check. Alrighty, well, that solves that. So you guys got a complaint.
Yeah, well, we got filled out for you.
And then,
we got the statement and all that good stuff.
statement already done. Easy peasy. So,
And there's the problem. It was easier to go along with the bullshit than it was to actually do the work.
Well, yeah, we'll
What's
take
up?
your statement.
Welcome in, D. Johns. Good to see you. Long time no see.
Yeah, we'll take your statement based on your internal investigation and your cool AI, and our investigation is moot because you already did it.
Right. Well, no, we don't do investigation. The only investigation he did was to take the 2 copies of the thing and run them, and they came back different. And he went, nah. I mean, did I miss something?
Nope.
He said, nah.
so right now, because I can't identify you, man. It's weird. Because essentially it looks like you have 2 names. I don't know, man. So I can't identify you. Unfortunately, that means that they can't cite you.
Officer Jagger collects Jason's things, which includes his driver's license, a Peppermill player's card in the name Jason Killinger, and a debit card from his credit union in the name of Jason Killinger.
If you can't be cited, then you are arrested. So
I'm arrested?
yep, I'm going to
jail?
Yep.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not a joker, man. So you'll be arrested and you'll get fingerprinted up at the jail, and then they'll be able to discern your identity and what the mix-up is with this stuff. I'll be 100%.
Hold on here. Hold on. He also, inside his own head, thinks there might be a mix-up here. Right? Because this guy sounds honest and sincere. And the cop's like, well, you know, their system's so good that I'm going to trust it over my own 2 eyes. Quite literally. It's absurd.
Well, yeah, he's saying he can't identify him. You can't take those IDs and match him up. You can't have him stand up and say which ID is his, 6'1" or 5'9".
Right?
And
that is
and
wild.
And then maybe do a background check on the other one and see if he's got any criminal offenses.
I'm sure they ran all of that.
I don't know. It only sounds like he went to the DMV for the ID check.
Possibly. Eat your pizza, bud. Do that thing.
But they are strikingly similar and enough. They're.
Did you hear the depression happening in that man's voice? Listen again.
Similar and
strikingly
yeah, no,
similar. The ID shows, like you said, one's got a fucking 5 head, the other one's got a goatee. One's 5'9",
right.
The other 6'1". One's 215 pounds, the other one's 265 pounds. One's a Class F license, the other one's a Class C license. What
right.
the hell?
Yeah, I got nothing.
Strikingly similar, despite all the differences.
But this gentleman right here, when he hears him say, but they are strikingly similar, you see the depression fall on his face. Watch him.
They are strikingly similar and enough. They're
This is not me, fuck. Oh, this is gonna suck. It's gonna start sucking right now and not finish until they're done with me.
See AI technology that reads faces. No, it says it's a 100% match. But at this point, our hands are tied because, you know,
a total lack of officer discretion at this point. Our hands are tied. We have no choice.
Yeah,
we have to run you.
And notice again, he reverts back to the AI is 100%, despite all the other differences. And that, well, they're strikingly similar. How is it strikingly similar when AI is the one you keep going to, and it is absolutely wrong, and you can clearly tell that.
Yeah. AI is not our salvation, people.
A reasonable and prudent person would, based off the software, based off the pictures, based off of even your driver's license picture, make the reasonable conclusion that all three are the same person, just two different IDs with two different names.
At the back of the IDs, because I have all the endorsements except for motorcycle and hazmat.
Okay.
Other than that, I got all the endorsements.
But that's the
Right, and that tiny tidbit of knowledge and the distinction between those two IDs ought to trigger him to dig a little deeper right here. But I wonder, since we're in a casino, and this is in Nevada, are we dealing with casino corruption at this point, or is it just... This shit moving around behind me. They're coming to get me. Or is it just, you know, incompetence across the board?
Incompetence across the board.
How about it?
thing is
his a CDL?
So that's the thing is it's either someone else is using your stuff or you're using somebody else's stuff, and unfortunately you look too much like the guy in that picture, so much so that the fancy computer that does all the face scanning of everybody who walks in this casino makes the same determination that my feeble human brain does. So
Jason's ID is a Nevada.
Your feeble human brain is running with what AI presented, because again, your feeble human brain is still questioning 6'1", 285 pounds, eyes blue, hair blonde. Yeah.
Naturally, there would have been other differences as well, date of birth and addresses, stuff like that. None of that raised any type of suspicion at all. Incompetence across the board. I stand on it.
A Real ID driver's license. In order to obtain a Nevada Real ID driver's license, a person must present themselves at the DMV with proof of identity such as a birth certificate or a current U.S. passport or U.S. passport card, a social security card, and 2 documents proving Nevada residence.
I can't believe I'm going for this. All I want to do is play some goddamn dice and make some money.
Yeah.
If I got a check stub from my work.
Check stub?
Yeah, would that prove it to you guys?
Honestly, man,
no.
The only way is gotta get your fingerprint out.
Later, Jason would reveal that along with a check stub in his vehicle, he also had a current vehicle registration for his car in his name, a Department of Transportation medical card, a Teamsters Local 533 union card, and a valid vehicle insurance card, all in his name. Officer Jagger's police report would later state that, quote, due to John Doe having conflicting identification, he lacked satisfactory evidence to reasonably assure me that he was who he claimed to be.
So we get rid of the old adage that, or Christian scripture, that a man is bound by his word.
No, currently they're bound by the AI's word. He is, at least.
Absolutely.
Right? And so is Home Chick from Tennessee.
Yeah, and so is the officer, and so is the casino, and everybody involved. They're bound by their own AI dependence. This is why I keep telling you, and I'm sure Squatch is going to say the same thing. You cannot depend on AI. No way.
It hallucinates. It straight up makes stuff up. They call it, the AI programmers, I learned this the other day, they call it dreaming.
I got mine to actually tell me that it wasn't a lie, it was hallucination. That was strictly straight from quote from my chat GPT. Because I called him out for a lie. I called it out for lying, and it said, no, it's not a lie. Oftentimes we hallucinate. And it said we.
It's not me. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, it's one of those, like I said, man, if it turns out that it's not you, it's one of those ones you can call the director and be like, hey man, your software is made it a critical error.
This is what my tax dollars are paying for?
It's not built for comfort.
Dude.
It's not built for comfort, pal. Very sorry.
Before
you sound so sorry, bro. Like, oh, wow, fucking cops.
He leaves, another officer arrives at the casino, and Officer Jagger takes the opportunity to once again explain the situation.
It's super weird because this poor guy might be like legitimately somebody else, and something else. I don't know. Weird call.
Soon, Officer Jagger begins the drive to the Washoe County Detention Facility.
I'll be honest, I don't know what to think because usually those systems are pretty good. Like, we've used those systems in the past to catch homicide suspects.
Sure.
So like, they're fairly reliable. So if it comes back, you know, one angle on your face, it was 99%. The other one was 100%.
Is that right?
Yeah. So it's like, it says that you're that guy.
Well, unless I've gone crazy, I'm pretty sure it's not me.
Yeah. You seem like a stand-up guy, and there's probably a really terrible case of mistaken identity.
I've never been arrested.
Absolutely.
Not once.
He absolutely knows it is wrong. He keeps telling him, oh, it could be a case of mistaken identity. He knows there's something fishy here. There's something hinky. And he's already done the investigation, but at every turn, well, these are different, those are different, he's a different height, he's a different weight, different this, different that, but the AI says it's him. Are we arresting people on the word of AI now? That makes no fucking sense to me. The answer to that is yes.
What the good is the ID then? Why do I even carry that mother? That one young security guard, man, like a robot. That's what pisses me off, is because they don't think, you know. It's like, well, this is what I was taught. Use your head. And then people aren't smart enough to think for themselves. They're just not.
Yep. Fortunately, it's the world we live in. If all goes well, you should be out of those cuffs in the next, hopefully, 8 to 10 minutes.
Okay, good. All because some that looks like me was sleeping in the casino. It's not me.
Despite Jason's continued protests, Officer Jagger hands him off to the jail staff. Jason's fingerprints were soon submitted for analysis.
Best of luck, man. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, so
That's weird.
it's super weird. So it's one of those ones, like, I genuinely, like, I kind of believe him.
Yeah.
It wasn't long before the
Kind of. At every step when he looked away from the AI stuff, he immediately starts believing this dude, but then he goes back to the AI and is, oh, well, the AI must be right. And that's a piece of paper.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Well, I sort of believe him because they're putting their belief in the AI.
fingerprint analysis conclusively established that Jason had been telling the truth all along, and he was in fact Jason Killinger. Later that same day, around 4 p.m., Jason was released from the jail on his own recognizance. The day after his release on September 18, 2023, he went to renowned urgent care Vista, where he was diagnosed with a strain of both the right and left shoulder and contusions on both wrists. On July 30, 2025, Jason filed a complaint in federal court against Reno police officer Richard Jagger. While at the jail and after his identity had been confirmed, his arrest papers were changed from John Doe to Jason Killinger. The federal complaint states that this meant Jason would be prosecuted for trespassing, even though Michael had been the only one who was trespassed. According to the complaint, Jason's charge of trespassing was eventually dismissed. However, he now has a criminal record. According to the complaint, facial recognition technology has led to wrongful arrests in Louisiana, New Jersey, Maryland, and Texas. Many cities now conclude that for an arrest there has to be some kind of secondary corroborating evidence that is unrelated before there can be sufficient justification to arrest. Jason Killinger's case remains ongoing.
Welcome in, Iwan. Good to see you. So, you having problems, bud? Did the mic talk bad at you? You beating it up? That damn mic be talking shit. You know how it is. Can't trust them. So after I watched this, it just so happened that Mr. Reagan released a video called, hold on, AI will destroy humanity unless, and it's, I don't know. I don't trust anybody who can't tell a joke, right?
AI will destroy humanity unless...
Why isn't it pausing? I'm going to have to do a complete fucking revamp on my fucking computer. Which is funny because I recently managed to release, like, I don't know, a whole shit ton of RAM because I had a wild echo taking place. And I was using my computer to cancel the echo out, and it was causing it to crash every now and then, you know, infinite loop type shit happening. And no, not this, not that, the other thing. Boom, boom.
Give me the money. Give me the money, okay?
We have officially reached our grifting part of the show, because if you don't give me some money, these people are going to show up and tell you what. And I can just go get me a pizza.
3, 2, 1.
And here we go.
On my own, here we go.
If you're looking for the guilty, you need only look into a mirror.
The communists declared that the real differences among our people constituted the weakest and most vulnerable point in our social fabric.
It's MAGA country.
This is no hoax, ladies and gentlemen. I urge you to run for your lives while you can. We're not making this up just so we can take over the world.
The old dinosaur media isn't dying, it's dead. We are the new media. This is our world now. Lay down and die.
Peace was never an option. So if we don't step up and win this culture war, then who the fuck will?
Let's wake the fuck up! We're gonna get naked.
No. I'm locked in here with you.
You're locked in here with me.
That's what you've been waiting for. Be the one we need.
Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Global industrial complex.
Yep.
Uniparty.
Do I really look like a guy with a plan?
The point is to destroy Western civilization from within using Maoist technique. So therefore you have to vote for me.
I don't know. This is probably the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Woke is Marxism, evolved to attack the West.
Stop giving up.
It's only just begun! Now!
Do it! Yes, you can!
I'm gonna do what's called a pro gamer move.
Just do it!
Are people bitching about that?
Some people.
Of course they are. Oh, fucking A. All right, got it. Yeah, too fucking bad.
All right.
Yeah.
Far left conspiracies, to be honest with you.
Ain't no single entity going to swoop in and save the day. You are going to be continuously let down if you place all of your hope into one individual. Instead, look inside and look around. We're doing this together.
We all are fighting for the same thing, and we all see the same problem.
It's time to stop being an NPC, get off your ass, and join the meme war.
Shame! Shame!
No, I don't like you.
Shame!
If we were in the wild, I would attack you.
I'm sick of it, man. I'm fucking sick of it. I will not do it again.
Thank you.
I wonder how many people feel exactly the same way.
Yeah.
Be the beating drum at the head of the growing creative cavalry charge. Be vocal and profound in your passion for projects you enjoy.
No more excuses.
I've seen it. I can't even compute all of it. It's so fantastical. You've not seen nothing. You ain't heard nothing. You ain't smelled nothing like this. I don't have words to tell you.
A new world order.
We are in the beginning of a mass extinction.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Hey, wait a minute!
About it. You control population, you destroy the family, and then you you sow division.
You don't need a destination when you're running on an omnidirectional treadmill.
Are we ready for a new world order?
You'll never defeat the human spirit! You'll never defeat God! You'll never win!
Pray that he is watching.
Against all the evil that hell can conjure, all the wickedness that mankind can produce, we will send unto them only you.
On my own, here we go.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
I gotta bounce. Thanks a lot for proving just how ugly and immature you are. It's been real. And just so you know, I don't really care about your problems.